Hi folks, you're with Tacitus today, your pushback channel, and thank you for joining this audio, radio, no pictures live stream. In this essay, I'd like to talk about the NGO infrastructure that supports, underwrites, and generously financially rewards illegal aliens in the West. And I'll use a couple of examples here. One's in the United States. Now, and I just want to sort of also highlight here that the vast infrastructure that's available to support these illegals, not simply to get them into the West, and that infrastructure is vast, but once these illegals are in the West, the very generous funds that are available. Now, remember, these people in the West, in this case, the US, they're here legally and in substantial numbers. For example, over the last 3 years, or a little bit over 3 years, around 11 million illegals have arrived in the US. 11 fucking million. Now that's on top of the 20 odd million that's already there. So we're talking somewhere between 30 and 35 million people are in the United States illegally. I mean, just comprehend that if you can. That's 10%, give or take 10, 11% of the population. Now, what I didn't realize until just recently was the amount of support these illegals get when they're in the US. There's this army of NGOs that give them money, give them food, arrange accommodation, arrange all sorts of handouts, clothing, making sure that they get medical care, that they're put into school and so on. And again, these people are illegal. They're not even supposed to be there. They're not supposed to be getting work or getting jobs they're not supposed to be there. They're illegal. Now, if they want to go through the proper processes, but none of these people would meet the basic criteria. They don't speak English. They have no qualifications or job experience. They have nothing. They have nothing that would qualify them to be a legitimate legal migrant. So why bother going through the legitimate channels? And again, there's a vast NGO globalist infrastructure to move these illiterate, because that's what they are, illiterate third world peasants into the first world. And once they're in the first world, another vast array of NGOs who are there to support and assist them, give them free legal aid and all sorts of things like that. So if they're in danger of being deported or they've got documents to fill out, and they can just go to these NGOs that will take care of everything. So who's paying for the NGOs? And so, well, there was a Senate hearing recently in the United States where there's an NGO that assists. They are completely dedicated to financially assisting and generously assisting illegal aliens, and they're in the Senate now. Why? This is just my perspective. Why wasn't these people being arrested? They're direct and admitting, they're not like they're hiding it or fudging it. They're directly admitting, we assist and support illegal aliens. We financially assist them. We give them legal advice. We help them. We help these illegals stay illegally in the country. So that that's illegality there. This organization, this NGO, is assisting, aiding and abetting and supporting illegality. And yet they're sitting in a Senate hearing in the United States and the snotty attitude of, how dare you question me, I'm morally superior to you, and this oh fuck, why isn't this people being around? I mean, if you walk around the Capitol building or somewhere in the vicinity on January 6th, you're an insurrectionist, the FBI will spare no expense in hunting you down and throwing you in prison. The writ of habeas corpus be damned. Yet these people can stroll into the into the US Senate and say, I'm helping illegals commit crimes and do illegal things, and they walk in and they walk out again, and they're the ones that are morally superior. Oh fuck! Can you believe it? Now, here's the extent of this. These NGOs, I mean, they don't directly say it on their, or some do actually, directly say it on their websites. We're here to help illegals. They have a moral right to be here. And anyone that denies that moral right is Hitler. So they're barefaced and unashamed that we are helping illegals do illegal things, and we are doing illegal things thus, by extension. So now they all somehow are able to get registered as charities. I mean, how? I mean, hey, federal government, I want to help illegals do that. I want to help them break the law, and I do everything to, I want to engage in illegal activity, help illegal people. Our job is to help illegals do, break the law. That's it. Oh, no problem. Then you can have a, we'll give you charity status. Hey, come up here. I mean, it's insane that this could even happen. Now, once they've got charity status, then all these globalist cabal multi-gazillionaires are then able to donate money to these charities and claim a tax deduction for it. So just looking at the people that were contributing to, there's a few NGOs doing this, just looking at the people that contributed, they all seem to be, former, this is before Elon Musk took over, they were all heavily involved in Twitter, they're involved in Facebook, they're involved in all the social media platforms that are super pro-globalist, super anti-Trump, and they're donating tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars to these things, these groups that are somehow able to get. Now, it wouldn't be too hard to arrest these people. Okay, you aiding and abetting illegality. Well, it's charges are going to be laid by the FBI, and you're going to be doing some time in prison. That could easily happen, but somehow it doesn't. Walk anywhere near the Capitol building on January 6th in prison, but do this, no one's touching it. No one's interested. No one's investigating, and they're able to walk into the Capitol building and brazenly say, "I help illegals break the law," and there's no charges. I mean, fuck. So these super pro-globalist, destroy Western civilization. They're not all, but they're nearly all Jews. Donors. They are able to, again, to make these huge contributions without financial contributions, claim tax deductions, and they know what they're doing. They know what the money's going for. Why aren't they being investigated and charged? So doors surely open for that. Now, the selection of, because they're selecting the children of illegals in effect, and making sure that they go through the American education system and go into university, always to study, how to hate white people and those sort of. They're not studying anything worthwhile. It's all sociology and gender studies, lesbian dance theory. It's all that sort of stuff. And they're creating an army of, primarily Hispanic in this case, but an army of Hispanic activists, mainly women who aren't holding back on the chocolate ice cream and the French fries, by the way. And these are radical communist activist type folks who want to tear down Western civilization is evil, racist, fascist, Nazi. Every white person is Hitler, and so on. And now it was the extent of the support, because we're talking, low IQ people here. These aren't people that would normally make it through senior high school or get into college or even make it through college. So there's a lot of money is put at the disposal of these people. So if the family is, say, the illegal Hispanic family is poor, these so-called charities, they're NGO globalist activist groups, but they will say, no, we want the kid to stay at high school, senior high school. We'll fix everything up. Don't worry. We'll give you money. So now the poor family, so we want the kid to go to work because we need money. We need that $100 or $200 or whatever they'd make. We need that money in the household budget. So the NGOs, not a problem. We'll give you the $200. Just leave the kid in fucking school. So the kid goes through. Now they've identified someone they think is a useful activist for the future. That's how they decide who gets these handouts. If you're just a flunky that they can't use, well, too bad. But if they think they can use you as a propaganda device, as an activist, as an agitator, as a frontline troublemaker, that's, and they've got talent scouts that see that. or identify those sort of people, and then they give them money. If the family gets into legal trouble, that's all taken care of, and so on. So they're pampered, not because these people believe in illegals or believe in the family or the people, but they're the useful foot soldiers that will facilitate the bringing down and the destruction of Western civilization. And so they're useful only in that sense. I mean, it's interesting that someone can arrive in a rich white country illegally, can get all this help and all these handouts and all these things, and then still end up hating the country that's given them so much. I just cannot get my head around that. But anyway, there it is. So now this infrastructure is huge, if not pivotal, in the production and manufacturing of, again, in this case, Hispanic activists, and large numbers of them. These are the people that will be, put out into the, on the ground, or will be given NGO jobs and this sort of stuff. And they'll be out there stirring it. They'll be the people that'll go and agitate the Spanish or Hispanic students that are in universities, for example. This one woman I'm thinking of here will be one of the paid agitators that go in and says, the white people stole everything from us, let's take it back. And all this sort of stuff. And we'll have a very low IQ audience to appeal to, who will easily accept that sort of ridiculous nonsense. But the extent of it now, why does that activist end? I mean, they're there to help illegals. They declare it. It's on their fucking website. Why are they able to get charity status? So that's an easy one to solve. Get rid of the charity status, and they've got no legal right to be active or to do anything in the United States or any Western country, given they're aiding and abetting and encouraging and facilitating illegal behaviour. So they shouldn't have charity status. B, they shouldn't be allowed to operate. And C, if they do, they're going to be arrested and be charged and do prison time. Anyone that donates or tries to donate similarly is aiding and abetting the breaking of the law. They should be charged and dragged. So it wouldn't be hard to bring down or to at least make very difficult the practices that are being used here and employed here to create this army of activists amongst illegal aliens. It wouldn't be hard to stop it. Or at least to frustrate it very substantially, and with existing laws. I mean, you're breaking the fucking law. But I noticed that you walk around the Capitol building on January 6th. That's an insurrectionist prison for you, motherfucker. And no expense spared in chasing after those people. But these people, there's not even a penny that's being spent on chasing after them. Not only are they not being chased after, the federal, in the case of Western governments, is actually actively assisting them, actively looking the other way. You're breaking the law. Who cares? Now, this is very much an ideological play. When you look at the Soviet Union or communist China or any of these ideological governments, and that's what the globalists want to do, impose ideological government, not government by consent, ideological government. And ideological government cannot be by consent, but by definition. So when for example, the Soviet government, communist government, took control in the Soviet Union, the Bolshevik Revolution of 1917 and so on, they didn't really care about crime, murder and getting beat up and robbed or getting cut up in a back alley or something. Who cares? But if you threaten their ideological power, then all the resources of the state would suddenly come after you, and you could be arbitrarily arrested, have the shit beaten out of you, taken out back and shot, put into a prison colony where, prison like the gulags in Siberia, but put in those prisons where not so many people actually survived and came back. So they would do that with ruthlessness, and suddenly all the energy and resources that they could muster were available to fight, to go after those that threatened them ideologically. But if you committed a crime, nobody really cared. And if you're a good communist and you happen to just accidentally murder someone that maybe wasn't a good communist, we can look the other way on that. And this is where we're heading in the West. I think we're already there in the West today. So you look at it's very easy and would be very easy for a government that was committed to stopping all this, to preventing it all and frustrating it and limiting. But it's all been again, supported, aided and abetted and assisted by globalist governments, pro-globalist governments that really have lost all their sovereignty. They're just little, globalist puppet flunkies. You've been with Tacitus today, your Pushback channel. Thank you for listening.